וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל ליל ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם תשים לעולם תשים לעולם Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom אתה הוא מלך אדון לכו השלום שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל ליל ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם תשים לעולם תשים לעולם
Exactly. So how are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. And bar mitzvah, yes. That's all right. Excellent. All right, we'll begin. Good evening. Shabbat shalom, everyone. We'll begin our service with Shalom Aleichem as we welcome the angels. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, really? Okay. Maybe Adon Olam then. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Page 5. Thanks, Stuart, for lightening the mood. We needed that today, right? All right, page 5. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Eyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn in our prayer books to page 11. Lechuna Ranana. Let us sing joy to the Lord. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai Naria Letzur Yishenu. Lechune Ranina, Lechune Ranina. Lechune Ranina Ladonai. Lechune Ranina, Lechune Ranina. Lechune Ranina Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu. Nikanma Panav Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu. Bizmiro Naria lo. Lechune Ranina, Lechune Ranina. Lechune Ranina Ladonai. Lechune Ranina. Lechune Ranina. Lechune Ranina Ladonai. El Gadol Melech Elohim Asher Elohim Yikudim L'Fanei Yoseinu Yehu Adonai Eloheinu Lato Kayom Basabim Gam Ha'oli 40 Shana Kud Bedor Ba'omar Am To'e Levam Hem Vehem Lo Yadu L'Rachai Asher Nishpati V'Yapi Im Yevon El Menuchati. Page 13. Shivul Adonai Shichadash. Shivul Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shivul Adonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Vasumi Yom LeYom Yeshuato. Shivul Adonai Shichadash. Shivul Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shivul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Vasumi Yom LeYom Yeshuato. Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Amim Nimneotav, Ki Gadol Adonai Umula Meod, Norak Hu Ako Elohim. Shivul Adonai Shichadash. Shivul Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shivul Adonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Basumi Yom LeYom Yeshuato. Sabru Kodam. Horveda Levanav Shadom. Su'umin Chavush Lo Chatam. Yishtachav L'Rana B'Chodesh B'Mesharim. Page 14. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel Haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel Haaretz. Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Me'umelo. Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Me'umelo. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel Haaretz. Livnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpoteh b'tzedek, v'amim b'emunato. On page 16, the end of Psalm 97, light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright, and we rejoice in Adonai, your righteous people. Or Zarua. Or Zarua la tzadik. Ole yishelev simecha. Or Zarua la tzadik. Ole yishelev simecha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai. Behodu lezeche kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai. Behodu lezeche kodesho. We turn to page 19, Psalm 99. Adonai malach gezu amim yoshev kerubim tanud haaretz. Adonai v'tzon gadol v'ramhu hakohamim. Remember Adonai l'hini v'shtakavu l'hakordam kodoshu. Moshe v'Aaron v'cholav. Shamru aredof v'chel lamo Adonai l'hini. V'nokem alilotam. On page 20. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodesho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodesho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodesho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodesho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Page 21, Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, avul Adonai b'nei lima, avul Adonai kavod va'oz, avul Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'harat kodesh, kol Adonai hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai hamayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'koach, kol Adonai behadar, kol Adonai shover al azim, vayshaber Adonai et hazei havanon, vayargidem kemo engel Lebanon ve'Sirion kemo vein re'emim, kol Adonai chotzev labotesh, kol Adonai yachil mibar yachil Adonai mibar kadesh, kol Adonai yechol elayalot vayekesov ye'arot ובהיכלו כולו מכבוד, כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למה הוא ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. Page 23, we welcome the Sabbath bride, Lechadodi. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem lesucha, Sof maseh v'mashavat kila. Lecha dodi Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela, מקדש מלך ומלוכה, ומצאים מתוך הפך, רמלה שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. הנה ערים מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, היד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באור קומי, אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה. לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, בך יכסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס קטן. הכלה ימין ושמאל, תפארותי ואת אדוני, תעריצי היריש, בין פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, הדרך בלה גם בשמחה, ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. We'll continue in our prayer books on page 27 with the Psalm for Shabbat. מזמור השיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. מזמור השיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך בלילות, תמרום לי עולם אדוני, הנה יבך אדוני כי ילבך יבדי פרדו פרדים בשמן. Page 28. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בקצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. אור ינבון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו. להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולת בו. יללי 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 יללי. Rabbi, please, would you do?
We always take this moment on Shabbat, at the conclusion of Kabbalat Shabbat and before the Mari, the evening service itself, to take a few moments, because I think it's based on the principle in the Talmud, which tells us that when we come to pray, we have to say the prayers in the book, but also from our own hearts. So we take these moments now reflect on the days that have passed, the blessing of Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and each day, and think about the week and think about that which there is to be thankful for.
Adirim, adirim, mishpereyam. Adir bamarom, yelai lai. Adir bamarom, yelai lai. Adir bamarom, Adonai, yelai lai. Adir bamarom, yelai lai. Adir bamarom, yelai lai. Adir bamarom, Adonai. We continue with our Mariv service with the Baruch Hu as we rise for our call to worship. Page 39. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, u'vivuna meshenei itim, u'machalip et hazmanim, u'msader et hakochavim, v'mishmeroteim berakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla golem or mibnei choshech, v'choshech mibnei or. Umavir yom umeivir laila, umavir ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, Echai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv aravim. Page 40, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shokveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Ve'orech yameinu U'vahem negei yomam v'layla Yomam v'layla V'vadecha Adasim emenu le'olamim Baruch Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Beshivdecha beveitecha, uvlektecha baderech, ובשוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לתותבות בין עיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור, דבר בני ישראל, תתחי להם בזמות אדוני להם ותרם, לכם דברים אדוני אלוהיכם אמת, אמת ואמונה, כל זאת קיים עלינו, כי אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו ואנחנו ישראל עמו. We affirm the truth that he is our God, that there is no other, and that we are his people, Israel. At the bottom of page 43. Hamavir banam ben gizri yamsuf, edrod behem etzonehem bidomoti ba, v'ra'u vanav gvurato, shivahu vodu lishmo. 44. Umahuto b'ratzon kiblu aleihem, Moshe ומרים ובני ישראל הכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדע בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לבני משה זה אלינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר היוודע אדוני יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל. Rabbi, would you like to lead us in Hashkivenu, please?
Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Waken us to life, O sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace and restore us with your good counsel. Save us for the sake of your name. Move from us enemies, pestilence, swords. Move the evil forces that surround us. Let us continue together.
Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, compassionate, our going and our coming for life and peace. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Ata Adonai, canopy of peace over us and over Jerusalem. Ushmor teitenu, uvoenu lechaim shalom yata v'yad olam, ufros alenu sukat shalomecha baruch ata Adonai, הפורץ סוכת שלום עלינו וכל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise, page 46. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Ubayom HaShvi Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Yitkada v'yitkada Shemei Rabba V'yabad Ivrachirute V'yabning Machute B'chayechon u'yomechon Uv'chaye decho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ubizman kariv yimeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olam me'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach Yibar v'tomam v'yanaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Hashem Kodesha Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Namira v'yama v'yimeru. Amen. Continue with the Amidah silently, beginning page 47. Say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'yimeru. Amen. Page 53. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבון ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, היבו שבת מכל מלאכתו, היבו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אל אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון כהני שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות בדברו, מחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הגדול שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו. איבם רצה להניח להם, איבם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נבוא ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד בין הברכות אל ההודעות. אדון השלום מקדש השבת ובורק שביעי, ומניח בקדושה דם בקדושני עונג זכר למעשה למעשה בראשית. Top of page 54. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ritzei b'mnuchatenu kadeshenu b'mitzotecha v'ten chokenu b'toratecha saveinu mituvecha v'samechenu b'shuatecha v'taher libeinu le'ovdecha be'emet v'hankilenu Adonai Eloheinu Be'yava ratzon Shabbat Kodshecha Ve'anuchu v'Yisrael Mekadeshei Shemecha Baruch Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Rabbi Kadashem Rabbi, Yamadi Brakute, Vamikmakute, Bekaikon of Yamakon Mukhaid Israel, Baglav is man Kari, Vimeru, Amen. Yehesh me Rabba Mevora, Lealam Meamaya. Eat Barak Vishtabak Vibarvichama Viena Savi, David Alevitala, Shemeri Kudisha. Leila Mikover Katavi Shirata, Tishpekatav Nakamana Namirami Amma Vimeru, Amen. Takabato the Kono Israel, Kadamavoni Vishmaya Vimeru, Amen. Yehishala Baraba Minshmaya, Vikaima Leniviako Israel Vimeru, Amen. Oh, say Shalom Bim Romav, Uya Ase Shalom. Aleinu v'yako Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. 55. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon inilanu zikaron lema'aseh boreshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letzion mitzrayim hivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabat kodshecha ve'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat We remain standing, page 56. Leinu leshabeach, lateh gedula,
שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם אלוקינו כהם, וגורלנו כגו המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שמות השמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה מקרוב השמיים ממעל, שכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אחד, אלוהינו אין זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום להשוות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמה, והארץ מתחת עינו עוד. תתקנו מה שכדאי כבוד. כך כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. I'll read the Kaddish. We'll do the Kaddish now, and then I'll speak right after that, okay? Because I want to read the names of those individuals whose yard sites are in the coming week. And that is Norman Abraham, Dorothy Burka, William Friedman, Barry Friedman, Rhoda Gorski, Morris Green, Jean Haskin, Carl Himmelfarb, Jacob Isaac Hurwitz, Harriet Jacobs, Sarah Menick Carmel, Milton Parker, Irma Perlmutter, Robert Rappaport, Joyce Sachs-Rubel, Gary Seidelman, Pauline Salet, Rose Strumpf, Blanche Ulano. And we also mourn the recent passing of Ronald Harris and of Seal Grossman, Zichronam Livracha. May the memories of all of our loved ones be for a blessing as we turn now to the Kaddish on page 58, inviting those who are reciting Kaddish to rise as we magnify and we sanctify God's holy name with the words of the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, B'yama divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach li'olam li'omei omaya, yiporach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the heavens above cause peace to descend upon us, upon Israel, and upon all the world. And let us say, Amen. So before we conclude the service, I'll just share a little something. And that was, so I assume some of you had a chance to see the video, yes? So first of all, the context, and I put it in there because it wasn't very clear. Sipka actually took a video, and hers is better in certain respect, because this was from the, I guess, C-SPAN. It was just focused right on me, but you can see the whole platform there. So I was there beforehand. I had first met Wes Moore back in March or so, and was just immediately taken by him. He is As I said, I've done 4 different inaugurations, and I've been to presidential. There was just a certain electricity and excitement. His story, I'm sure many of you know, is extraordinary. His book, The Other Westmore, is a wonderful story about the fact that he discovered there was somebody else by the same name, also who grew up in similar circumstances, who wound up going to jail for having murdered someone, and he visited this person several times, and he realized basically, but for the grace of God, that could have been me. But he went on and to military school, and then from there he served in Afghanistan in a combat unit. So where he led troops there. One of the people who spoke at the inauguration was, I'm not sure if he was Filipino or Hispanic American, Filipino American who had served under Wes, and spoke about what a leader he was. So that was really very inspiring to hear him speak. And then Oprah spoke, and none of you guys are from Baltimore, but so I having grown up in Baltimore. She was on the newscasters, and then she had a talk show for a while, and that's what launched her career. And she, of course, referred to that and still considers her roots in Baltimore very strongly. And so I had said to both Governor Moore's wife and also to Anthony Brown, who was sitting right next to me, my favorite comedians these days are Key and Peele. Anybody familiar with Key and Peele? I love them. Aaron, right, and Balaki. So anyway, but they have this great shtick, which if you haven't seen, you got to see it after Shabbat, and that is, Marshall, have you seen this? I showed it to you. There's a different one. Yeah, same guy, different one. Yeah, they also have a bar mitzvah thing I showed him, which was great. But they have a thing about the guy who gets up to give the speech after Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream," and it is. Well, he gets up. He says, "Wow, that was quite a speech." He says, "Oh, I got 6 minutes," and then and then he says, Dr. King said everything I was going to say. It was very, very funny. So I said, I feel a little bit like that guy. But anyway, so Oprah had spoken, and then afterwards she stayed right next to me as I'm doing this, and so that's why I said the line about Oprah. And I actually debated between 2 lines. I was going to say that for the giveaway, when you go to one of Oprah's shows, she gives something away. And so everyone, there was a present and a gift for everyone who was there today, and that is a free trip to Annapolis, because we're all staying in Annapolis. And I realized that line would have been funnier, but instead I decided to go for more profound, which was the gift is that we've all witnessed history. So, and she loved it. I had her sign my program, as a matter of fact, which is kind of cool. But it was a very thrilling and exciting thing to participate in because, as I said, there was just a certain energy that was there. And great things. And then from there, not to name drop too much, but I went straight from there in Annapolis to a meeting at the Turkish ambassador's residence for a meeting with the foreign minister of Turkey, where I had a chance to ask of him a question, and that was, in his speech he was talking, or his opening remarks, he was talking about how upset he is that Turkey, when they buy weapons from Russia, they get condemned, but India does it and they don't get blamed. And he had a couple other examples like that, and he was also talking about the importance of fighting the PKK terrorists. They hate the Kurds. So anyway, so I asked him a question. I asked him, did he not sense the parallels between what he was feeling and the situation of Israel, which is constantly condemned in the United Nations in a way in which other nations are not condemned, and fights terrorism and so on, and is condemned for doing that. He didn't quite get it. No, he didn't. So, but I at least had the point. And then, actually, he had the chutzpah to say, when I asked him something about Hamas, and someone else had a follow-up question on it, and most of the conversation was not just about Israel, but there were a couple of things about Israel. And he said that Hamas, you have to tell this to Jonathan. Seriously, I should call Jonathan. Yeah. I know. Well, I'll tell you something about that in a second. So Hamas, the foreign minister said, has recognized Israel and the two-state solution. Yeah. So I didn't want to interrupt him as he was speaking, but I went up to him afterwards, and I said, with all due respect, I don't believe that Hamas has recognized Israel, nor have they accepted the two-state solution. And he said, oh, no, they have. Of course they have. And I said, well, in their charter, it's still, go take a look. It doesn't say that. He said, no, they have recognized, they support the two-state solution. They've told us that. And I said, well, maybe they told that to you. I said, but they haven't told anybody else. So at any rate, that was it. And then last night I went to the Maryland game with Steny Hoyer. So that was fun. And so that was it. No, what's it mean in Spanish? Never. Okay, well, yeah, I can only imagine what it means in Arabic, but in Hebrew, Hamas means violence, by the way. Yeah. So when God decides to destroy the world at the time of Noah, he says because the world is full of Hamas, full of violence and so on. So, but I'll just close by saying I sent a text to Wes, just telling him, thanking him for the honor, and he wrote back to me immediately just saying, thanking me for offering a blessing. He's a very, very humble guy. He's really amazing guy. So we'll see what happens. And when I met with him, of course, the first time, obviously, I spoke about the Middle East and spoke about Israel. And I said, what are you going to do in terms of the squad and the progressive part of the party going to try and push you in a certain direction? And what he said to me at that time, and I have no reason not to believe it, I will just tell them that's not my policy. So, anyway, we hope for great things for you. Have a question? Where'd you read that, by the way? Do you remember? Oh, okay, I'd love to see it. Only because I talked with him about that, and I said to him I want to go there with him, and he said absolutely. So when we met, I had first suggested that, about a year ago, and then. When I saw him on the platform after he became governor, I said, I look forward to traveling with you to Israel. He said, yeah. I don't think he's been there, actually. I don't think he has. So, but he was excited, looking forward to it. So kind of interesting, yeah. So, anyway, that was my week. It was a little. Oh, and then this morning, that I was taping a TV show. Any of you ever see Armstrong Williams? By the way, do you know who he is? He is this black guy who's very, very conservative. Yeah, extremely conservative. He's like a Clarence Thomas type, and in fact, he's friendly with Clarence Thomas. So he introduced. So he invited me to the show to talk about faith and how basically the world is going in the toilet. He didn't quite say it like that, and anyway, but it was after we're not on TV. I'll share with you something he said. Yeah. Well, it's a good question. I think in terms of he has a strong coalition, but this thing with Aryeh Deri rocks the boat a little bit. It's what Israeli politics are so uncertain; it's difficult to figure that out. So. Wait, you know what I just remembered? I wanted to share with you guys. I mentioned in the morning. Forgive me, and that is that there was one thing I said, which was that this was the dawn of a new era. You saw that? Okay. His wife's name is Dawn. That's why I did that. And then I mentioned something about Joy, and I looked over to the left, and that's his mother's name, and she was there. So I was doing that. And then I know that conscious of the fact that it was just. Martin Luther King Day and the historic significance. And I know that Martin Luther King used to love to quote this verse from the Psalms, which I included in there, and that is, God's anger lasts for a moment, but his love is for a lifetime. Tears may linger for a night, but joy comes with the dawn. So, anyway, with that.
His daughter's name.
Yeah.
His daughter was so cute, his son, yeah.
Precious, yeah. So. Anyway, with that, why don't we conclude our service? We'll sing Yigdal, which is on page 62. Let us join together.
יגדל אלוקים חי וישתבח, נמצא וינתר מציאותו, לאחד בן יחיד כחיקותו, נעלם וגם עצוב לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו מלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל עד שסגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את תמונתו, תורת מנתן לעמו, אל היה נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחלי באר ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו. צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשעה כרשעתו. ישלח לגית ימין משיחנו, לפתור מקרקעי תשועתו. מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם נעילתו. מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם נעילתו. Shabbat Shalom.